If you're struggling with insecurity, or if you're struggling with self-confidence, or the feeling that you have for yourself and your self-worth, then this video could be a very important video for you. The subtitle of this channel is called Beyond the Mask, and the reason why I have or wanted to call it Beyond the Mask is because I believe that life should be lived in the most authentic and genuine way. And in order for us to be authentic and genuine and have this ongoing self-awareness and understanding of who I am, then we need to acknowledge that there is a tendency, and it's very easy to put on masks. And when we put on masks, we do that because we feel insecure, we feel that we are inferior to other people, we feel that we may not have the same right as others to have an opinion or to express what we think and what we feel. So we put on masks, and we do that to defend ourselves, in a way put on a shield that protects us from being exposed of who we actually are. And in this video, I want to share with you 5 masks that I have identified that I believe that are the most common and prominent masks that we put on. So the first mask is the people pleaser mask. And the people pleaser mask is exactly that. It is a mask that we tend to put on to protect ourselves by simply pleasing other people. And by doing that, we are trying to seek approval, and we're prioritizing others' comfort over oneself. So why do we wear it? It's a fear of rejection, desire for belonging, or it could also be a low self-worth. There are some improvement efforts. For example, catching the impulse, or you could also clarify your needs. And it's also very helpful to practice simple, small no's. You don't have to go all in on the big standpoints. You can practice, and you can continue to develop your capability of taking off the people-pleasing mask and putting yourself first. The second mask is the perfectionist mask. And the perfectionist mask is the mask where we're striving for flawless results, and we're doing everything we can to avoid mistakes at all costs. And why do we wear a perfectionist mask? Well, we wear it because we have a fear of criticism. Or it could also be that we are suffering from an imposter syndrome. Or also that we are looking for that early praise for being the best. And the improvement efforts that we can do when it comes to the perfectionist mask is to redefine success. And redefining success basically means that doing something and completing something, in other words, done, is better than perfect. So let's not strive for some kind of illusion of what we consider to be perfection or being perfect, but rather just getting things done, and then we can celebrate these small victories and developments in our lives. We could also time box tasks and just give ourselves shorter times for each task or activity. So then we can move on, and we can consider or conclude that this is good enough. I'm okay with this. We could share our work early to get input from other people if we feel uncertain or insecure about the work that we are doing. This could help us in order for us to not constantly striving for perfection and never actually get the work done. The third mask is an interesting one. It is what I call the tough mask. And the tough mask is hiding emotions, refusing to ask for help, basically projecting invulnerability and not wanting to feel that you are exposed as being weak. So therefore you try to compensate by putting on this tough mask. So why do we wear it? Well, there is a tendency in many cultures, including the culture and the societies that I come from, that real men don't cry, that we're supposed to be tough, that we're supposed to not be weakened by anything, and that we can always just, in a way, put on a tough mask and we can overcome any kind of challenge. Obviously, that is nonsense. It doesn't work like that. And in my opinion, actually being very vulnerable is probably one of the most effective superpowers that we can have as people. So what are the improvement efforts? So some improvement efforts that we can make in order for us to start to peel off the tough mask it's a little bit on a more deeper topic, and that is an emotional check-in. To schedule, for example, a 2 or 3 minute break or a short break every day to identify and recognize for yourself how you're feeling, what are you feeling, so you don't suppress those feelings, but that you rather trying to understand what is happening inside of you instead of reaching a boiling point where you put on a tough mask because you do not want to feel weak. You could also share one thing and to tell, for example, a close friend or a partner something that is worrying you. In other words, try to open up a little bit more in a very basic, simplistic way. It doesn't have to be very complicated. You can just have a conversation with someone every so often and then just share with them how you're feeling, if there's anything that is really stressing you out, or if you're going through some big challenges in life, so that you don't manifest or suppress those feelings, but rather try to open up and be a bit honest with yourself. I believe that always helps a lot. And of course, through that, you can also ask for help. And there is no shame at all in that. I would rather say the opposite. If we don't ask for help, that pain or that frustration will come out in other ways all the way through life. So I really recommend asking for help and then having a conversation partner of some sort. It could be a mentor, it could be a coach, it could just be simply a friend. The fourth mask is what I call the chameleon mask. And the chameleon mask is always trying to adapt your opinions, the style or the mood or the way that other people are expressing themselves, and you're trying to kind of match that or to copy that like a chameleon, and you're losing yourself in that, and you're not truly reinforcing your way towards your own self-identity of who you are, because you are looking at everybody else and you want to maybe try to be like everybody else because you feel a strong sense of insecurity. So why do we wear it? Well, it's a desire to fit in, it's a fear of conflict, or it could also be that you're not trusting yourself and you're not trusting your own judgment. Some improvement efforts that we can get some support with to overcome or to peel off the chameleon masks are: the first one is check your default. Ask yourself, what is your actual opinion about something? How do you feel about something? And do you have a strong opinion, or are you more neutral? You could also reflect after the fact, or what I call post-social. So after you have, let's say, been at a party or you are having a meeting and you're having conversations and discussions, and then when you are wrapping up your day, for example, you could reflect a little bit and ask yourself, how did I manage or how did I handle that specific situation? Why did I, for example, get carried away and kind of put on the chameleon masks to adapt to everyone else's opinions? Why didn't I just stick to my opinion? Really begin to practice how you can do this in a more effective way for yourself. That would probably certainly help. But you could also build, in a way, a personal mantra that you keep repeating to yourself, that you really want to be authentic. You really would like to have an opinion and have your voice that you can express, rather than to copy or be a chameleon in a way where you are just trying to fit in what everyone else is saying. Be yourself. That's what matters. And then you can develop from there. And then you can continue to work your way towards becoming that person, and perhaps becoming a leader or a parent or a partner who you really want to become. And then the final mask, And this is, I think this is a very important mask. And I see these in many people. And it is what I call the victim mask. And the victim mask is very much framing your life that basically everything and all the time something is happening to you. And you're always feeling that you are treated in a worse or treated badly compared to other people, or that you're being blamed for something, or that you're always pointing at other people because you are a victim, and you always tend to then put on a victim mask because you're trying to protect yourself, because you're putting yourself in that situation rather than to take responsibilities for yourself and reflect on your behavior and reflect on the actions and your choices and your attitude. You just simply point at other people and you say, it's everyone else's fault but mine. Everyone else is trying to do something to me. They're out to get me. I'm being unfairly treated. Where of course that is not the case. At the end of the day, throughout life, everything balances out. And of course, not everybody is out there to get you. And you are certainly, most of the times, not a victim. Of course, victimhood can happen, but most of the times we are not victims. We are simply making choices for ourselves that we are pretending to be victims so that we can have excuses. And we do this many times to gain sympathy or avoid responsibility. Or it could be that we have some trauma, we have experiences that make this type of mask, this type of behavior just simply feel safer for us. So we put on the victim mask, and then suddenly, magically almost, it's everyone else's fault. Some of the improvement efforts that we can make are, for example, to begin to change or to swap out words that we keep repeating, like I can't, or this always happens to me, to words like, let me reflect on that. Let me actually see things from different perspectives. And I will choose differently. Those are more positive or neutral words that we can keep repeating to ourselves so that we don't continue to repeat or to manifest this feeling of being a victim. We're rather taking responsibilities in our own hands, and then we refuse to be a victim because life is a journey, and then we have all the opportunities, even though they might be more difficult for some, obviously, because life is not fair and life is different for all of us. We still have opportunities to continue to make choices that make our lives more exciting, that give us more opportunities, and that continue to develop us and then to understand by having a stronger self-awareness and then having a stronger sense of self-worth, which continues to empower oneself. Try to reframe your setbacks. So instead of asking yourself, why always me? Ask yourself the question, what can I learn from this? And what can I do differently? And that will give you a very different mindset from the get-go, where you stop being tempted to jump into this victimhood mentality and you rather just reframe it and say, I would like to learn something from this. What can I do differently? And then if you have the opportunity, and it could be family, it could be work, or it could be friends, anyone who can be what I call an empowerment partner. An empowerment partner is someone who has a different mindset than what you have yourself, and someone who can support you in kind of rewiring your mindset to always being a victimhood mentality to a more neutral or positive mentality, where you actually are starting to realize for yourself and feel for yourself that you are taking responsibilities. You're not just choosing to jump into the victimhood mentality, and that could really help you. So try to look around you and see if you have an empowerment partner, someone who is very different from who you are. So before I wrap up this video with some few very basic steps that I would recommend that you take, I would love for you to like and subscribe this video and put your comments below. If you have something to share, I would love to hear from you, because when you like and subscribe, it allows me to grow this little channel day by day so that I can reach more out there through YouTube's algorithm and actually perhaps have a positive influence on many more people. So I would really appreciate that. Now, what kind of steps can you make to have a very simple, basic change journey in front of you? There are many things, but here are 4. I would recommend that you pick one mask at a time. If you identify more than one mask, just pick one. Just make it simple for yourself. The second step is just commit to one action. Again, don't overcomplicate this. Commit to one action per week, and then just do this step by step, and you will see a good development as you are progressing. Track your progress. You could do this in your mind, you could do it on a piece of paper, you could do it with different types of digital solutions, whatever you will like to use. Just make sure that you keep track of your progress. So once you track your progress, you have the opportunity to celebrate the breakthroughs and to begin to recognize all these positive steps that you're making for yourself. Because now that you have identified 1 or 2 or more masks, then you can do something about this. And you're going to be able to see strong personal development together with a strong sense of self-awareness that will keep guiding you in life to live more prosperous and hopefully have a healthier and more happy life. So that's it for now. That was this video this time. Like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next video, take good care and begin to look for those masks, and I'll see you soon. Bye.